I know you are a supporter of Cap's protest. Should Drew Brees watch the Five Bloods, and what do you think he'll get from it? What's up, everybody? It's me, E-Man from E-Man's Movie Reviews. Spike Lee is a legendary filmmaker who's brought to us a number of standout films such as Do the Right Thing, Malcolm X, and now his latest film, The Five Bloods. In this film, Lee tells a humanizing story of Black Vietnam War veterans and their complicated relationship of American patriotism and being black in America. I got a chance to speak with Mr. Lee and some of the cast in The Five Bloods, including Delroy Lindo, who, by the way, gives a remarkable performance in the film. Here's Mr. Lee and Mr. Lindo. All right, this is Emmanuel Noisette from E-Man's Movie Reviews in Chicago. Mr. Lindo, Mr. Majors, Mr. Lee, thank you all so much for joining us today. Mr. Lee, this question is for you. In The Five Bloods, you used the Vietnam War to depict the complicated relationship between patriotism, the American dream, and being black in America. Recently, we've had people like Drew Brees disagree with Kaepernick's taking a knee to the protest to police brutality, and he also tried to invoke his grandparents who fought in World War II. I know you are a supporter of Cap's protest. Should Drew Brees watch The Five Bloods, and what do you think he'll get from it?
I'm talking to the Saints. I'll just leave it at that.
You mean you're officially talking to the New Orleans Saints organization? You're talking to them. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. We're going to try to do something. I'll just leave it at that because it hasn't happened yet.
If that's the case,
I reached out the New Orleans Saints football team.
If that's the case, Mr. Lindo, what would your character say to Drew Brees?
Oh shit!
No. His character or Delroy himself?
I'm keeping it movie related. So Paul, the character, what would he say to Drew Brees?
Can I answer? Can Delroy answer that question?
Thank you. Not his character.
Let Delroy answer. First of all, I have to admit I knew nothing about this. I didn't know anything about Drew Brees responding. So Delroy would say.
He apologized yesterday, though.
Good. So I would say this: watch the film if you want to, and don't watch it if you don't want to. It's entirely up to you. What I would say regarding his reaction to Cap taking a knee, I would say respectfully, you're wrong. I would also say respectfully, talk to Colin Kaepernick. Because what happened with him taking a knee, that narrative was kidnapped away from Colin Kaepernick. It was kidnapped away from him. Mm-hmm. And so it became something that it was not. So I would say to Drew Brees, if you want to go see the film, see it or not. I would say regarding whatever your reaction is, your response to Cap taking a knee, go talk to Colin Kaepernick so you will hopefully have a broader context for why he did that in the first place. That is Delroy's response. Paul's response, whatever, motherfucker. Whatever. I mean, whatever. What the fuck? That's Paul's response.
If you'd like to see the rest of this interview, you can do so by visiting the YouTube channel of the African American Film Critic Association. I'll post the link down below or in the description of this video. Now, before I go, I know there's been a lot of tension and civil unrest given the protests and the riots and all that stuff that's been happening ever since the death of George Floyd. Now, I know it might not be much, but I wanted to do something to help in the effort, so I created this t-shirt. It lists the names of just some of the victims of police brutality, and if you buy a shirt, I'll be donating proceeds to the organization Color of Change. They're a non-for-profit group that fights against racial injustice and police brutality. You can find the shirt below or just click on the link in the description. If you know any friends who may also want to join in with the support, feel free to share this video with them. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me today. I've got more videos and reviews to do for you all, and until next time, I'll see you all later.